Hey guys, it's the Fosters After Show on AFTERBUZZ TV. Tonight, we're breaking down Season 4 premiere called Potential Energy, so stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hello. It is the Fosters After Show on AFTERBUZZ TV, and it is so good to see everybody. Hi! Oh man, the full panel is back again for Season 4. We're talking about Episode 1 today, and here to help us do it is Anna Grace Barlow.
Hi!
Hello! Anna Grace plays Zoe, of course. Thanks for being here.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for having me.
Oh man, yeah, of course. What a big episode to have you join us on. Some could say that Zoe kicked into action by hiding notes, but we'll get to that point. A lot of blame. I mean, we would be remiss without mentioning that this is on the heels of Orlando, as the show mentioned at the beginning. I don't know if it hit a little too close to home. They handled it beautifully, but it just feels like a lot. How did everybody feel about that?
Just timing, like good and bad timing. Like watching it, I was like, obviously they didn't know when they did this first episode that this all was going to happen. So the timing of that is crazy, and I think they handled it well, doing like an intro kind of thing on it, but
I thought it was handled so well. It's just, it's like so soon.
Oh yeah.
And then they can't, like delay it because this is having such big effects on the entire season, I'm guessing. I think it's just so timely with Orlando, and then we had the vote for gun control today or yesterday in the Senate, and then none of them passed. It's crazy, and it's a bizarre point in time for the Fosters to be dealing with it right now by coincidence.
I'm just happy that no one was hurt, so that the issue was brought up lightly and everyone could understand it. It wouldn't, for those who it would affect, a little more closer to home, at least it wasn't where they had to see something really bad happen. It was just kind of taken under control.
It showed like the terrifying nature of bringing a gun around without anybody actually being hurt. So it just showed how terrifying that can still be without any physical harm still.
Yeah, I agree. I think that while we don't know yet if someone will be hurt in the next episode, while they kicked it off without is a very good choice that I'm happy about. We're going to get all into this. Let's do some quick intros. We know you know us from last season, but we'll do it anyways. I'm Jeffrey Masters, and I tweet from Jeff Masters 1.
I'm Hannah Prichard, and I tweet from @TheHotShotDude.
I'm Jillian Leff. I tweet from @Jillian Leff.
And I'm Stephanie Giorgi. I tweet from @Stephanie Giorgi.
And as always, we love to see your comments on YouTube and iTunes, on Twitter. You can rate, comment, subscribe, and Jillian is going to be on Twitter tonight. You can tweet using the hashtag ABTVFosters. Is that correct, Jillian?
I will do my darndest. The internet is a little bit of a struggle city right now, but that's just because all of you are tweeting me, so thank you. My Twitter has this, it's crazy right now, so keep going.
Oh my God.
I'll read what I can see.
Yeah, do the best you can, baby. It's okay. It's a supportive show.
You, Jeff.
We're taking care of you. It's totally fine.
Thank you.
I forgot that the cliffhanger of last season ended with Nick in the car and we saw the gun. It's just such a massive thing to end on. And so for them to then kick off season 4 right at that moment, like seeing it continue. We were talking about how there were no deaths so far. Did anybody have any doubts or worries? Because I was wondering, so often in these circumstances, people don't make it out alive, especially the shooter. Did that cross anybody's mind, or do you guys think that Nick will be okay?
I was afraid that he was going to hurt himself, eventually, just to have something be done, just so that someone would get riled up. If it wasn't him hurting Matt or Mariana, then he would hurt himself. I mean, like you said, there's still something that's going to happen next episode. It hasn't been resolved completely, so we don't know. Hopefully it doesn't get too bad, but he looked a hot mess the way he was sweating. Like, you could just see his anxiety and nerves, and yikes.
Yeah, I had a couple people actually reach out to me. Some people that watched the Fosters, some people that, sort of heard about it because it was a trending topic on Facebook even before the weekend started. It was like on Friday people were talking about it, and then today and yesterday people were talking about it. And a lot of them actually said the same thing, which is they feel like this episode should be played in schools because of how accurately it depicted the situation. And I have to commend the actor that plays Nick, because for him to take on such a role like that, you know, we know that Nick is a complex character, obviously. You know, we see that he has a complex relationship with his father, and we don't know a lot of his motives behind things, but he's definitely a people pleaser, and now we're seeing what it's like when he doesn't get his way or he feels betrayed. And he just did an excellent job of sort of playing the line, you know, when he interacted with Jesus. And he was like,
and when
"You're a good
Jesus
friend."
took away his backpack by
Yeah, we were all
accident.
nervous laughing at my house. We were like, oh my gosh, and the way he reacted to it.
And you know, I was talking about the finale of last season, how it ended with the gun. And, you know, as far as we know, he could have shut that and drone away, and this never would have happened.
Yeah.
But what was that read-through like for season 1 or season 4?
I on the funnier side of that, it was Jordan who plays Matt at the end of last season. None of us really knew what was going to happen. There were some rumors about, is there going to be a school shooting or is this going to be something else? There were rumors that it was going to be Nick was going to get drunk because he was upset about seeing Matt and Mariana together, and he was going to get into his car and get into an accident and then forget that she had broken up with him. There was this big like rumor that she was going to break up with him, and then like he was going to get in this accident.
Oh, so there's rumors within the cast and crew.
Within the cast about what's going to happen.
Funny.
You're just like us.
Exactly.
Holy crap.
So at the end, like whenever we did find out that it was going to be like a school shooting kind of episode, I remember Jordan was like, "They're going to kill me off. I just know."
And you did him so good right now.
Oh yeah, he would hate me for practicing my Australian accent here, but yes. So that was really all we knew, was that it was kind of, the read-through was solemn in that people were like, this is a big deal. This episode's going to be big and really scary, and yeah.
So, and then during the shooting of it, you were in the classroom with everybody. Was the weight of that during shooting there, or was it kind of like, was there levity, since these are long days and that's a long time to like deal with these like heavy emotions?
It was there because of how like everything had to be so fast, and we were like, we have to like get all these things up on the, like create a barricade, but they only show part of it, but we did the whole thing from like everybody, okay, start the lockdown, and so we would get up and we would every time close the blinds and do all these things and create this barricade every time. So it was really easy to go there because you actually felt like somebody was outside.
Oh, there's just like a sense of urgency. Wow, that is crazy.
It was intense. Yeah.
Oh, it's, and then did you? So you, I guess, at the read through, then found out that it's continuing on to the next episode.
Yeah.
That is, I mean, obviously we don't want spoilers, and you can't give them.
Yeah, I know.
Contractually, but
what's the title? Do you know what the title is?
I saw it somewhere. I didn't.
Because if I knew what the title was, maybe I'd be able to say.
Everybody on Twitter, tell us the title.
Yeah, right away. So that
I'm like, wait, I like haven't even looked at my phone. I'm like too into this conversation right now. So like, I apologize, guys.
I can't tell you. I'm
called
not in the
Safe.
next one. It's called what?
It's called Safe.
Safe.
Okay, then I can't tell you anything.
Was there not a second? Was there not a, was there not a
then
second
dang it.
word? That's Marissa in the booth. Was there not a second word, or is it just safe?
Just Safe.
Oh, I thought I read it's like safe house or safe home. I guess not. Thank you, Marissa.
Thank you, Marissa.
Safe. That's the most like vague thing ever.
Yeah. And is that supposed to be
Right.
like
Are you safe
contradictory because
or
she's
not?
like not safe? He's in the house. Like I'm confused by that.
Did we talk? Did they talk to you like behind the scenes or like in the script, like anything deleted about why Zoe took the note, or was it purely just like venge?
Honestly, I was told I didn't take the note.
Oh, really?
What?
So I don't know.
Wait, did we never see you take the
Wait,
note?
No.
No, Nick
Whoa.
saw the note.
You see Nick see the note, so
Yeah.
you don't know. You think Nick took
But
it.
didn't we see her? Didn't we see
But
you
you
looking
did
at the
also,
backpack? Or, like,
yes.
by the backpack?
You saw me buy the backpack.
So we don't know who took the note.
Do you know who took
No,
the note?
I remember you made some type of face, actually.
Yeah, and that
Girl,
was, and
I
that's
remember because
they
I was
were
really
like,
angry at you.
Yeah, exactly. Because I was like, I asked somebody, I was like, did I take the note? And they were like, I don't think so. And I was
But
like,
play
that's
like
not-
you did to
Exactly.
confuse us.
Yeah.
So rude.
I was like, it could go either way.
What does
The
it
way that
matter? Do you not remember what she said to Mariana in front of the mirror? Like, oh, well, what were you saying? That line? You're just trying to like rub it in her face.
Yeah, well, she was like, we're having sex, or we
Yeah.
had sex.
And it just really brought us like so much
closer together. I would have been like,
Like he would never dump somebody he slept with. Like he just wouldn't do that. Anyway, bye.
I know that was so. I was
my
so
God.
mad at you.
I've been lying to everybody. I said that you were taking the note.
I'm so sorry.
Wait, so then
my
are we gonna
God.
find out then? Is it gonna be like a big kind of like reveal thing? Because
I don't
they've
know
let
if
us.
they'll. I don't know if they'll address it.
It's gonna be like Serial Season 3. Who took the note?
Well, we know for sure that Nick did because he saw it in Reddit.
I guess it
Yeah.
has to be Nick.
I mean, I wonder if Nick will actually say, well, I actually read what was inside the note. Because
Right.
Mariana said, he wrote me a note and I didn't get it for whatever reason.
Oh, yeah.
No, Nick did take it and read it. I just remember that I think your character saw that happen. Mm-hmm. So you were just trying to...
I made it look like maybe
you were just still trying to get her further away from the situation. You were trying to manipulate everything. And then Nick did by taking the note.
That's interesting.
So Brittany Alyssa said Nick took the note and burned it at the warehouse.
Yeah.
Was that what he started the fire with? I listen.
Yeah.
I feel like I should have probably watched the finale of 3, but I was just so excited for this.
Like, I knew that he was the one with the note, obviously, and read it and started the fire with it, but I thought it's because somebody gave it to him. I thought it was because he gave it to him. He took it.
He watched Matt put the note in Mariana's backpack. He saw it happen, and then he took it.
Yes.
Okay, we will never know. We will never know.
No.
I got one laugh. Thank you. Yeah. You can come back next week.
Thank you.
Got it.
Nice.
I thought it was so interesting that everyone is picking up on these context clues that Nick is not okay. Jesus asked him, "Are you doing it fine?" Matt even noticed something, speaks to Mariana. Mariana notices, and no one can suspect that this will lead to somebody with a gun at school. But I thought it was so interesting that Mariana is the one that spoke up and actually said something. Everybody has this hunch, and he says it's okay, let's ignore it. And Mariana told Lena in the office, I don't think something's okay.
You know what? Perfect example there. And I meant to tell you both yesterday, but we were too into the show. Someone tweeted me, and I forget who it was. I think it was Lisette, but it was so funny because she's like, the part where he's like surrounding her like a vulture. She was like, "There's a shark, girl, get out, get out." But that's the thing, though. I think I would have felt the same way if Nick, who normally is just trying to make sure that his EQ is on point with Mariana and wants to be sweet to her and wants to sit next to her and speak to her rather than, surround her the way that he did. Like, of course she had to say something. That was really scary.
Thank you for that callback to EQ.
I forgot it. What is it? I forget what that is.
It's like emotional intelligence.
His emotional intelligence, because he wasn't, that's how he felt for Mariana.
It was from last season.
I totally forgot about it.
Yeah, we talked about EQ for an entire episode.
Was I not here that day?
Maybe. You were in the show, though. That was a good excuse.
But the scene with Nick and Mariana outside, the camera work and the direction of that scene was terrifying. With him circling,
when you could see the
gun, and then they zoomed back and you see like the whole thing of a vantage point, and it's like it was just like the anticipation, knowing that someone is on screen and has a gun.
Yeah.
Oh man!
I kept thinking he was gonna blow his butt off.
Oh,
I did. When he laid back on that bed and that gun was in his back, I was like, buddy, you better have like some sort of safety on that thing.
I was like, at least untuck your shirt and put it on so nobody can see it.
Exactly, because he was walking around school with the gun literally in his... I was like,
one planning to do something, one who's emotionally unstable.
He was ready to go.
Yeah. I think it was the direction of the episode was really great, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Rob Morrow directed it.
Yes.
Yeah, so... it was very gun focused, the actual visuals, and that's what I liked about it so much. And we saw so many different shots, and it had a lot of emotion behind it. Like, not only did the circling that we had just talked about had a lot of emotion, but I mean, Anna Grace, you said that you were watching with a big group of people yesterday. How did you guys feel when like the toilet with her shoes, when they panned up and showed that she was up there? Because we were all like,
oh, right.
Like we couldn't even handle it.
Just like, and it was actually just me and my boyfriend, but we were freaking out. And I was really just amazed at how incredible of an actress she is. Like, and I've been a big fan of the show forever, and then I got to be on it, so I was like, I'm a fan, and I made my way onto your show.
Yeah, it's possible.
But the whole time I was just like, Cierra, how do you, how? Like, she's incredible. So that shot, I know you're talking about the pan up.
Yeah. The camera work was just like, it, like even, and we always talk about in this show, you know, we know like when the slow-mo is coming, that's something, there's going to be something emotional. We're going to cry our eyes out. And the way that they used slow motion in this episode wasn't corny, I thought.
No, it was wonderful.
I thought it fit.
And nothing happened in the episode that made me say like, well, that wouldn't really happen.
Right.
You know, like she wouldn't just be hiding in the bathroom for no reason. Like that, she's hiding in the bathroom because her life's at stake and she has no other option. And that's actually pretty smart. You know, please crouch.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then for Tim, the teacher, not to let her in, like that's protocol.
It is. That's the other part that scared me. So there are other great shows on Freeform, like Pretty Little Liars, that things that happen where you're like, okay, but that wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
You know, the entire series is that way. That's okay, but that's what I was a fan of this episode entirely because it was just so real for being not an HBO or Showtime series. You know, this is on Freeform, and I was like, I couldn't breathe.
And then how smart to have her not there for a lot of the episode because she is hiding, and so we don't know if something's wrong, if he has her. You know, we haven't seen Nick in the actual school with the gun. Has he taken her away?
And even when the teacher said that she could be the shooter because potentially she could have been.
Yeah, like he was doing everything right, even though it's mind-numbing for us as viewers. And then during all this, flashing like back to the beginning of the episode where Callie tells the moms that about her and Brandon.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I know.
Oh no.
Then they had to sit in a room together after she was like, by the way, Brandon, they know.
And
They were so sweet though, like taking care of everybody. Oh god, they were so good.
Yeah, and going back to my point about this, like, everyone's being reasonable. I liked the complete disbelief in Lena's voice when she's asking, "Why do you think this would affect the adoption?" Like in her mind, there's no like doubt that this is my daughter. It's like, why are you still doubting that? And I just feel bad, like for Callie, that it hasn't like sunk in yet.
You know, I didn't know. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, but as like a viewer, when you're watching Callie deal with like the guilt of being with him, and it's such a big deal that she thinks she's not going to get adopted. We believe like she might not get adopted if they found out. You know what I mean? And then to hear that is
But I was just gonna say that is so. I didn't really notice that about Lena, but that's so typically her to get hurt by that. You know, she's also her just like, what's wrong with you? Like, what do we have to do to let you know?
Yeah, and their mind is blown by finding out that they had slept together, and then she's also like able to put back that to say like, no, you are our daughter. Like that's not the discussion. We're not talking about that, and you know. Yeah,
it blows my mind to see we're third season B, right? Season 3.
No, we're in 4.
Oh, we're 4A.
Yeah.
Wow.
A lot of breaks. That's fine.
Okay, so we're 4A, but you can definitely see the chemistry with the cast now. I mean, even when Brandon walks up to Lena, you know, nothing was said. He just knows that she knows, and he owes that to her. That's his mama, you know, like to go up and say sorry. Like just everything and every I love you that was exchanged in that entire episode. I don't know why I just couldn't get enough of it.
Oh my god, I
couldn't
know.
get enough.
Question for Zoe. As a member of the cast, but more importantly, a fan, thoughts on Bradley? Go.
I mean, like, I'm Bradley all the way.
Good
I
girl.
don't understand, like, why they can't just be together.
She's pandering. Cut her mic off. Stop it.
It's not like they're not related. I mean, as soon as they're both over 18, like, you know.
Anna, we accept you on the Bradley ship.
Yeah.
Are you not on the Bradley ship?
Oh, everyone's heard it so many times.
It's like a really complicated relationship.
Oh my god, it's complicated. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. Listen to Julian. It's complicated because they are now legally siblings.
Right.
And even if they weren't, they're living in the same house as siblings. So if they were to couple up, that would be dramatic because they live in the same home.
Yeah.
So if Brandon goes to live with his father, or if they go to college, I want them to spend like a couple of years to like find themselves and be alone, but then circle back.
Sure.
Right.
Well, who knows?
I'll
Maybe he'll
accept
be
that.
removed from the situation.
Absolutely.
But like, think about it this way. So the way that we were left with Brandon last season was he spent his like savings on buying Courtney an apartment because she got kicked out. So like, is he
I
gonna
know.
go live with Courtney? We don't know.
Stop it.
I know Jeff is like really anti-Courtney.
Why are there rumors that Brandon's going to live with Courtney?
People are tweeting me. It's like,
Because he bought her a bungalow.
yeah,
A really cute one.
A really cute one.
Yeah.
he just really wants to play daddy. Like,
Yeah.
Wait, is that something that people are saying is hypothetical, or have we seen like synopses that are like when Brandon moves in with her?
I don't like to spoil that much. People tweet me things. I don't know if they're true or not. I'm not
Oh,
going I'm not
God.
retweeting them. I'm not participating in the conversation, but I'm taking it all in.
I'm
So keep tweeting me.
angry. I can't talk about Courtney. Can't.
Well, we don't have to because she wasn't in this episode.
Good. We're moving on.
Yes. Thank you. Me neither. Courtney, you? I'm just kidding.
What?
Without
Courtney,
you.
I don't.
Wait, back to it being realistic. I was going to ask you guys what you thought, because I noticed, and I'm not sure if anybody else noticed, but the police officers who came into the rooms to evacuate the rooms were not super friendly.
No, they
weren't
wouldn't be. It have to
comforting.
be.
They weren't. We're the police. You're okay. You know what I mean? It was like hands on your head. It's like he could be in any room, which I guess might be how they would handle
That's
it.
what I was saying. That when Jeff said the same thing, like, why is this so dramatic? Why are all their hands? Because a lot of the shooters hide
in Yeah.
Especially if they're a student, you wouldn't
They're a
tell
student.
difference.
They have to blend in, and that's the first thing that you would do to try to hide yourself. And they have to. It's one of those things where they can't be like everything's gonna be okay, because they need the kids to know how urgent this is. So if I'm serious, then I'll project that you'll be serious.
I think too, if people are in a state of shock, which you would be, that the like, hey guys, come with us, we're pleased. Yeah, you need the shock to shock them out of it. Like the, hey, you're coming with us, it's safe, but don't dilly dally.
Yes, don't dilly dally.
Don't get your bag. We're leaving.
Don't get
Mom's outside. Go.
Yes.
You know.
It's hard because when I don't know if you guys remember, but there was like a shooting that kind of hit close to our home in San Bernardino a couple of months ago, or maybe it hasn't been a year yet. But after that, at work, we had to watch a mass shooting safety video. And it looked very similar to what the Fosters had sort of played out on camera, which I commend them for that, because obviously they did their research. But it's important because I think sometimes, we aren't taught these things. And it reminded me, well, actually today there's like this really like viral thing going around, and I'll post it on my Twitter after the show, but it was this little girl. She probably was maybe 5 years old, 4 or 5 years old, maybe 6. And she was standing on her toilet in the bathroom. And the mom walked in and started laughing immediately. And she was like, why? Like, oh my God, honey. And she was going to send a picture to her husband because, like, she was standing on the toilet. It was adorable. And the little girl said, I'm practicing for when there's a shooter. And they learned it in kindergarten.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
And that just
if she had to hide, like exactly what Cierra did.
Yeah, and she was standing on the toilet with her hands braced on either wall. And this is a real situation. We are dealing with this now, and I'm sure that you guys are going to see it on like GMA tomorrow and all these things, but this was right before I left work today. Wow. And it's just, this is so timely and this is so important, and I feel like the creators and writers of the show did an amazing job. And regardless of what happened with the characters, that was sort of just a bonus for me. We got to see the little relationship connections. We got to see, the little Emma and Jesus and all these little like vignettes, but within this larger story that I feel like is going to have a really great impact.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I'll post it after, but it was like really, it was just chilling. This little girl.
That's devastating that how normalized it's become.
Right.
And how they're preparing for it just like another day.
But at the end of the day, I think it's become where, if we can't do anything about the gun situation, and, you and I had a discussion about how, to be perfectly honest, we'd like to familiarize ourselves with a gun should something happen. And it's one of those things where it's just better to be aware. It's better to have the knowledge so that we don't go into panic. So that we just know what to do, because wow, that's impressive. Well, the little girl, hands on both sides, that's unbelievable.
Also, we didn't touch on it yet. I'm sure we're about to head there, but the substitute teacher that
carried one. Oh my God.
Was he a sub?
He was.
And we don't know why he had it, like for protection or other reasons, but this hits so close to home for me. Just like the Orlando shooting does, because these are our safe spaces, and these are safe places from the rest of the world, and then it just makes, if they take this away, like where is there for us?
Right.
And that's schools for young kids, that's gay bars for gay people. It's unfortunately real. Right. And I think my discomfort that I mentioned earlier in our after show, I think that's okay to feel that way. Yeah. And it's just sad that the show's dealing with this because it's a part of normal life. Yeah. I would love a world where they wouldn't even have to do this, where they would pitch this idea in the writer's room and the writers would say, that's so extreme. We can't deal with that. And if we made people watch that, it would really just freak people out. Let's not even touch that. And that's very sad to me.
Right.
Yeah.
I will say, though, that the show since there's a police officer as the mom and there's a principal, the fact that they're able to get that perspective on a school shooting is, I think, very rare on a TV show. We wouldn't be following a police officer around during a school shooting. We're watching the kids. Right. I didn't see the Glee episode where they did it, but we're getting Steph's reaction. We're getting Lena's. We're seeing them message on the stuff, like checking roll call. Yeah. These are perspectives that I think the Fosters are able to do in an organic way because of their jobs. Right. I think it's phenomenal.
I think so too.
I really liked Callie taking charge. I thought that was a really important moment for her because, you know, we've seen her recently. She's had a lot of things going on. You know, we saw her at the end. She finally got adopted last season. You know, but then she had this. Her mind has been crazy, and for her to put everything aside, even after reading all of those message board things about Brandon and her
on Lost and Found.
Yeah, and you know, putting that aside and being like, I'm still going to be the same nurturing person, and I'm going to help where I can help. And she sort of kept the level head. And her and Brandon. I mean, it was a great moment to see two young people react in that way when their teacher was sort of just. It was just complete disarray. Reading a handbook about, you know, what are you supposed to do?
Well, and I thought that was interesting too, because I've never thought about that with substitute teachers, is they're not briefed in any way on how to handle situations like that, which I think
they would be. I think they would be.
Yeah, are they? Absolutely.
Yeah, because you have to go through harassment training. No?
Sorry, my sister's sitting in the room. She's an elementary school teacher.
They're
That's
not.
why I looked at her.
You have to put in your sub plans.
You have to put in your sub plans.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Well, I pulled up the script because I remembered, this is probably illegal, but I remembered a part, like a line where he explains why he has the gun. Mm-hmm. And I didn't hear it when I watched it last night. So maybe it just got cut, but he says, the SWAT's like, place the weapon on the ground. He says, I just heard about this shooting at another school and I got my permit. And then one of the SWAT says, and you almost got yourself killed.
Oh, I remember him saying, you almost got, like, you idiot, you almost got yourself killed.
Yeah, I heard
that too.
Right. But I didn't hear that line, which explains why he had the gun. So.
Well, that's, I mean, okay, so that's understandable. I guess it's just for his own safety, but at the same time, clearly he wasn't able to handle trauma the way that Callie and Brandon were.
But I thought that was an interesting and good thing for the show to do, which they're always thinking of everything, I feel like, when they touch on any topic. Yeah. But for them to have a substitute teacher there, which they don't know things, I thought it was really smart for them to do that, so to make audiences aware that that's an issue that we should address in itself in schools.
Again, preparation.
Yeah. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
The commentary on it's all it's like everyone's like talking about what we're talking about, continuing the conversation online, just kind of talking about how stupid it was that he would bring a gun to school
and yet it's like when he explains that there was another school shooting and like I got my permit,
then you almost sympathize with him.
It's just perspective. It's like and somebody just brought this up to me, but it's like when the mother is freaking out and Steph is like, my kids are in there too. Like, stop.
Please,
we're all scared, you know? And it's like, in that situation, obviously, you have to put like, none of us here are mothers, or fathers, but it's like, you know, how would you react in that situation? You hear of something going on. Like, the only time I could ever think about something like that was during 9/11 when some people's parents were taking them out of school. Yeah. And we didn't know why. And then when I got home, my mom was like, I was trying to reach you. We were trying to get you out. And it's like, you don't know how you're going to react in that situation. So it was nice to see the other side of things, but also a reminder that, you know, Steph has a job to do, but also she needs to make sure that, because really Mariana was the only one that was unaccounted for after all that.
And we had the scene where Lena said, I'm going to find her, and they're like, you can't do that.
Yeah, that was, the moms like got me this episode.
They really,
the kids, it was like a little, I mean, everyone was sort of in their own world, but the moms, it just like killed me.
Like, well, Jesus too, though, he freaked out for his twin.
Big
I know that,
right? It made Taylor, who might not be watching, he teared up at the end when he like kind of broke through to go hug her. He was like,
your man.
Oh, my man. Oh, my boyfriend, Taylor.
I was just saying, I'm like, who's Taylor?
I was like, are you glassy-eyed? He was like, no.
Yeah, I think that the scene with Jesus and Emma, I mean, we caught them with the car. They're teenagers. But then the scenes of them sitting in the office when the shooter's going on and they're just talking about their relationship and the guy she used to date and like what happened with them. It was such like a nice, beautiful, just like honest moment. And it was a relieving part that like, I think it was like a relief to have this nice moment amid the chaos. And I think those things happen because like probably what they don't tell you about school shootings is that yes, you're terrified, but then at certain points you're kind of like bored, I would say. Like you're like terrified. You're like watching out for your life. But if it's going on for hours, it's just sitting down, like these conversations would happen. And it was really lovely, I thought. And it made me contrast this Jesus to the JT Austin Jesus, and for
That's weird. Me too.
right?
Me too.
Because I cannot imagine old Jesus having that conversation
Oh
with
my-
Emma. And I I always liked Noah, but this made me love Noah.
Yeah.
It made me so thankful for
I told
this
Noah,
version.
I was like, you made me remember why I loved Jesus.
yeah.
Because he's like a good brother and he's sweet.
Yeah.
Like some of the sweetness started to kind of go away towards the end of season 2, I guess, 2B.
Yeah.
Right.
And so just,
I liked also the, I guess we would call in today's society a male-female role reversal, because Emma's kind of like, hey, so like I basically just banged you because I wanted to, and that's it. Like I don't want anything for, like I got what I wanted. Okay, is that okay? Because like that's
did they actually do it?
I don't think they did.
They
I think
didn't do
they
it.
were
They were
driving
about
off to
to,
do
but
it.
she was trying to say
No,
that.
they did it.
No, they did it.
Guys, they did it.
They were coming back.
and I will tell you.
What?
Yes,
Breaking news! Breaking
because
news!
when the gun, she's like, get out of the car. Do you remember? And he like, this is kind of like a
big
this
deal
is-
for skipping
yeah.
class.
But in the script, and I only say this, like I think it's so interesting to watch it after reading it so many times, is that it says their hair is all messed up. It looks like they've just had sex.
Yeah, because they're coming back to the school, Jeffrey. Okay.
Jeffrey.
Maybe they're like they're going out to like buy a cigarette.
But like,
No, they were about to go and get it done. Maybe they were just making out while he was driving.
Oh my god!
But I appreciate that because it kind of showed, because like Jesus was sort of like posed as the player for so long, and like he's like a womanizer, like getting these girls, like he has a sweet side, but obviously we knew that he, enjoyed the opposite sex. And now it's like sweet little Emma. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, right. Emma's been a gangsta from the beginning.
Dude, she looks so good. This
She's
episode,
such
she
a
was like,
G
girl.
every time. It's like, who writes your lines? I just want to give that guy a hug because they make her so cool.
Yeah, the car thing freaked me out though because Nick gave him the car keys, and I'm wondering, is he letting him borrow it because he is his bro and wants him to go with this girl, or is he letting him borrow it because he wasn't planning to like come back to ever need it again?
Oh.
And that's what kind of freaked me out.
Well, that, and
Or to,
also,
like,
what
keep
if he
him
was
safe.
premeditating, making sure that his tracks were covered, that they would be distracted by looking for his car and not looking for him.
Yeah, that too. But like, it's like he didn't need a getaway vehicle. Like, was he gonna take his life?
Another like car thing. Why did his dad have a gun in the trunk?
Well, because the car's always with his dad. It's less, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
I don't know.
I'm from
That's the only thing
Alabama,
I can
and
think
people
from.
go hunting and they leave their guns in their cars.
yeah, but
So that's
like
That's
in
not a
their gun
hunting-
thing.
Yeah. He had a case.
I
Just
know,
the
but
kid knew
that's
about
just
it.
like, I don't know. Personally, whenever I hear of someone that has a gun, usually they have it locked up somewhere in their house.
Yeah.
And to have it just like, it's always in the car, I was kind of like,
What's
wait,
the point of the gun then?
I was like, wait, what?
I only thought it was weird because when they opened the trunk, it was literally the only thing
Yeah.
in the trunk, like a dramatic pop
Yeah.
moment. That was the only moment that I was like,
Like put a shoe in there.
Or a gym bag.
Gym bag.
Or like the water bottles you
clubs or
bought
something.
yesterday and didn't get out of your car. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't just say because I'm Jewish, I don't know anybody with a gun. We just don't play that game, So,
Touche. I ain't gonna lie, but I'm not arguing with that.
I thought it was interesting though that Steph is the one that was like, do you think he would be like harmed himself? Is that what we're thinking?
Well, you know what's brilliant about the entire thing too is the how they are trained to hear these little patterns. Oh, something bad happened.
Yeah.
Oh, Nick is missing. Okay, so then what's the next? I thought, I'm like, wait, is it possible that they would have figured it out that quickly? Absolutely.
Crazy. Yeah, we have to talk about Jude
okay.
and Taylor and Daria.
oh my god, I forgot
Yes,
about all
we
this.
do.
Judicorn.
Okay, so on Twitter today,
All right, girl.
things got a little sassy. I didn't answer anyone, but you know who you are.
Oh no, y'all need to leave my girl Jill alone.
And it's like, I finally think this episode provided some closure for Johnner fans, or at least I hope, because
Yeah.
it's like Jude reached out to him, then he realized, you know what, I don't need him. In that time of worry, he reached out because he needed to, he needed to talk to him. He needed someone close. And then after the fact, when they were on the bus and he was like, no, like, I just wanted to see what was up. I think finally now, I at least hope that fans can accept that teenage relationships come and go. And although we loved the characters together at one point, it's like they always leave a print on your heart. And
Those
move
Johnner
on.
shippers, though.
I know, and you know what too?
know,
Like
I
we
get it.
loved Johnner together. We talked
my
about it all
God,
the time
yeah.
on the show. It was such an amazing time for television, for LGBTQ television,
and for this character that we love.
Exactly, both of them, both of the boys, like they were trailblazers in this sense. And now we see a boy who is confused. He just needs to figure things out. And if it's sort of, bisexuality, obviously it's something that gender fluidity, we talk about it all the time. If that's what this is going to be, then that's what this is going to be. And I really think that Daria needs to
back up.
I get that she's
back off.
I get that she is like being a mama bear to her friend. Right?
Yes,
because,
of course. Yeah.
But I think that the intentions are wrong because she was so hurt that Connor was gay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And now she's deflecting.
And within the shooting, the three of them are sitting next to each other, and Daria is talking to Jude. Nobody's comforting, or Taylor's talking to Jude. Nobody's comforting Daria. She feels left out on this attention, be it romantic or not. I think that it's. I don't know that they're playing around with like sexual fluidity or not, or gender fluidity.
There was a time when he was like, "I don't want any labels. I just want to just be me." And
Which
I'm
I
like,
thought was
think
amazing.
that, and now they're kind of.
Yeah.
Peer pressure is forcing a label on him, so I hope he comes back around to this.
And a lot of people deal with like they don't want labels ever, but a lot of people don't have firm labels on their road to figuring out their sexuality. Exactly. So often the LGBTQ, Q is for queer, but also is for questioning. And there's not a label.
Is it?
Yes.
I love that.
So Jude at the moment is questioning. Yeah.
That's wonderful. I didn't know.
Yeah, and I think it's amazing for a TV show to portray that.
Yeah.
And while I mourn for the loss of Johnner, I'm excited to see where Jude goes in this journey of his, in questioning and figuring out his sexuality.
And Jude's also a perfect example of someone who just loves. He's literally just following like where his emotions are going, and that's it.
Yeah, and I just think it's so amazing to have Jude doing this because there's no timeline for the coming out process or for the figuring out process. People go through this for years. So he started really young.
Exactly.
He's not.
Oh, nice and refreshing.
Yeah. People don't come out of the closet and say, "I'm great." They come out and say like, "Oh, this is nice. Let me keep trying this out."
Right.
And sometimes they go back in and come back out. It's okay.
Sure.
Actually, This is China here said, I hope fans can accept the whole Johnner stuff like they did with Noah, which I think is true.
Yeah.
I think that, it's...
Except what do you mean, like
Like,
Noah?
accept the fact that...
switched
The
up.
Johnner's
things have
over.
moved. Yeah, that Johnner is
the
over,
moment.
that there's a different Jesus. Like, things happen.
is life.
Things change, and it's exciting to see Jude have relationships, whether they be friendships. We were really invested in the friendship that he had
Jack.
last season with Jack.
Don't get me started.
Yeah. Right? Can they bring him back as a ghost? Like, I want him back.
Jack.
Wrong show, baby. Wrong
I know,
show.
Rob, I was just gonna say, right?
Show.
Oh God, I forgot about Jack. Now I'm pissed.
I loved him. Like, let's get some flashbacks, something.
Yeah.
He was great. He did
Give
his
him a
part.
spin-off. I don't know.
he
He's dead, so I guess I can't.
He helped Jude heal.
Yeah.
In that sense, obviously, he left an impact. I feel all these characters are leaving an impact on each other, and I think that's how it's supposed to be. All of us here have friends that we don't talk to anymore, but they left some sort of impression on us.
Oh,
And-
girl, you're hitting a chord.
Yeah.
That's right.
Part of growing up and like figuring out like, oh my God, like this person won't be here forever. Yeah. Now I'm jaded AF.
Get out.
But on the subject of Jude and his figuring out of his sexuality, which could take years and whatever, I'm reading this amazing book right now called Persistence, and it's called Persistence: Always Femme and Butch, and it's a essay collections by all these queer women just about what it means to be butch and femme and those labels. And there's over like 50 or 75 like contributors to these essays, and I read it. I was excited, but I also thought it would just be kind of like, oh, like repetitive. There's this many stories, and I'm 3/4 of the way through, and I swear to God, no story is identical at all.
Really?
Yeah. So there's just not any one way to be gay. There's not any one way to be lesbian or trans or queer or anything. And I think that's what we have to remember with Jude. We don't know what he is yet. He doesn't know what he is yet, so we can't expect anything, and we can't have our feelings hurt when it doesn't work out.
Right.
Such
And I think in that also falls into the category of kids who may or may have not been molested when they were younger, and that's why they go through their different experiences or trauma. Like for him specifically, I think Connor was just the first person that really like loved him.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Besides a sister,
Besides
a non-family member,
a non-family member, and you can't help but just want to like crush on that person. Like maybe it started as a crush, and then they went to something more. But then we saw Jude almost not be comfortable with the physical part of it. So how do you? That's where the confusion is. Like, but I want this person in my life. Do I want them physically in my life or platonically in my life?
That's such a great point. And we saw, or actually, we're told that Jude was trying on like women's clothing,
right,
in a foster home. So he's been like questioning and trying to figure out his sexuality and how to express it in many ways. And going back to what you said, Steph, there's gotta be PTSD from these hard times going foster home to foster home. Like, it's not an easy track. I think we've seen some amazing high points, like the LGBTQ prom he went to, and like the visibility and like representation there. But it's just not as easy as I think a lot of TV shows portray it. And so people, they have expectations as, you know, he's out and here's the parade.
Right.
Climb on board.
Exactly, and it just doesn't happen that way. You're right. I love that you said no one comes out of the closet. I'm great.
Yeah.
That was so
I feel great. 10 years of therapy. Jude, start now.
Listen, the Foster's writing room writes complex characters.
Oh, yeah.
It is not like anything we've seen on television. Gay characters are written so awfully sometimes.
Yes.
It is like this caricature of what a gay person, what people think gay people should be. And in this case, we have seen across the spectrum, we have seen trans, we have seen gay, we have seen bisexual, we have seen straight, we've seen everything, and it's important to note that not a lot of people are exposed to that, and we talk about it all the time, but for them to really honor these people and create complex minds, it's great.
Yeah.
And for the series regulars, for us to have 3 queer characters on screen at the same time, like, that's amazing. Usually, in fact, to have 2 lesbians that don't fit in, again, the femme or butch mold, they're both equally femme and butch at differing times.
They're just fabulous.
Yeah, so for like queer women to watch this and get to pick one character to relate to the more versus being told this is your character, I mean, this show is huge.
Yeah. And I feel like it's a show that doesn't create complex characters for the sake of entertainment, but for the sake of like enlightening their audience and I don't know, paying tribute to many different ideas of things. They do so well on the show of like expanding everybody's viewpoints on things, and I trust them to take this character in whatever way and for it to like, I don't know, educate people on what the possibilities are.
I know a lot of people have seen The Fosters and have said like, oh, that teen drama, that kid show.
No.
And thank goodness for Netflix now that people are, you know, fortunate enough to be able to binge watch. So many of my friends, 26 plus, are starting to watch
Really?
it. Oh,
Yeah.
like just full on adults that love the show. And I'm like, come on, I'm not just watching stupid things over here.
What do you see on Twitter, Delia?
So Lizette Escobar, hi Lizette.
It was Lizette's birthday yesterday.
It was.
Happy
Happy
belated.
birthday.
Happy birthday. It was in my calendar. I woke up and I was like, Lizette's birthday.
Lizette said they're breaking down boundaries. They bring everything to light, and I love it. And actually, Lauren Rodriguez at Senna Fan Forever, she actually brought up a good point about Jude, which I forgot, which is that he hoarded food in season 2.
Oh, right.
Distress
Survival mode.
signals.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, obviously he's been through quite a bit, and I'm excited to see where he goes.
Yeah.
Also, which we didn't touch on, but we have to since we have Anna Grace here. Leslie Rogers said, I loved Zoe's reaction when Matt started running towards Mariana,
Just like-
where we see you in the background
like-
over his shoulder, and you're just like,
How did I miss
death
that?
stare.
Yeah.
Like, I get that stuff's going down, but I don't like it.
I like it.
I was
Yeah.
so happy because my whole thing was like, I hope she's looking. Is she looking? I was like looking for your face.
Where is she?
I actually thought that Matt and Mariana were going to kiss.
I did too.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I didn't think so.
I held my
but
breath for a second. Look,
I didn't expect Mariana to say that. No, I said no to. Did you not hear the part where she's telling Nick that she said no to Matt, that they were saying goodbye to each other?
What?
Yeah,
When he
she
was circling
like,
her-
you don't. She's like, you don't know actually what went down.
Yeah, and I was like, well, what do you mean you're saying goodbye to
Yeah,
him?
they still have like immense feelings for each other.
Yeah, Yeah, but
like
after
platonic
that,
or otherwise.
Right, but that's why I loved a moment like this, because then they saw like what they wanted or where their heart was.
Yeah.
Like
Mariana's marching out of the
this.
school with Steph on her arm, and it's just like, don't like take cover, like walk steady, like we got this so far. I think that's one of the most affecting scenes of the show for me.
I know,
and then the
Lena.
soundtrack of Calling All Angels is playing, and then there's some slow motion works in. Like, God.
It was
It gave
so
me like little goosebumps.
good.
I know, I'm getting them now.
I live for this, everyone. I live for it.
I'm so happy that this is back.
I am too. So we have to talk about some predictions.
Okay.
Because as we saw, Nick
Everyone
is
has
in,
a chance at dying.
Your AfterBuzz TV.
I mean, yeah.
Essentially.
But so tell me this, did we see in the preview or in the final minutes of this episode that Nick is in the house?
Final minutes.
The final
Final minutes. Okay.
Yes, but we
Which-
see it in the preview also that while they're having a family discussion, that he's
like-
up in the closet hearing them
God.
talk smack. Yeah,
And
and he's like, "Oh, so they think I'm crazy? I'm gonna show you crazy."
Yeah.
guys, Steph did a sweep. How did she miss this?
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
He was in the cut somewhere.
Or
Like,
he was-
people are gonna be mad when they find out he's in the house. Lena's not gonna be happy.
But like, okay, so I was trying to piece together. So obviously he doesn't have his car. So it's like, okay, so he either walked or he took the bus to their house. The house was locked all day. They were out of the house all day. How did
Jillian,
we
he
get in the house?
Ubered. He Ubered.
All right.
I don't think there's so many kids. Somebody left the back door open or a window.
yeah.
They know something exactly.
It's
He's been
also
in the house
San
before.
Diego.
Yeah,
Looks like a nice neighborhood. They might not lock a door.
Yeah.
no one locked their door. Yeah, especially where they live.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like they do that.
Um,
Chula Vista, Spring Valley,
in the-
lock your doors. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. That's where I grew up. That's where.
Steph, always the San Diego perspective. In the preview, we saw Nick calling to Mariana and saying like, "Shh."
yeah.
I think that we are all in agreement. I think that no one can die.
Yeah,
Right?
This is
Nobody's
not
gonna
Game of
die.
Thrones.
Yeah.
Except for Nick.
No, but I don't even think so. I feel like it's not the way they rock.
And yet we're coming at it from a post Orlando like mind frame. They wrote this
Yeah.
not having come like off the heels of like the largest mass shooting
Right.
in the world. I don't know
So
if
it
like they
could.
would do it.
Right.
I will say that like if either way, like I don't think we can like see Nick for a lot of the season. If he just like he has to go to jail, he has to do something. There are major ramifications from this.
Absolutely.
Juvie, definitely.
Well, they were-
but also just like he could be institutionalized as well.
Well, yeah, so a lot of Twitter was talking today about how he has like split personality because he kind of turns it off and on really quick, and there's a lot of highs and lows, and that's
Yeah.
kind of like indicative of bipolarity, and we don't know, we don't know, and obviously his dad showed no indication of that there was ever anything wrong with him or he was put on medicine, and
no indication of affection
exactly,
ever.
exactly. So
That's right.
I wonder if a lot of the episode or the entire episode is going to take place in the house. Like I don't,
That's so
I have no idea what's going to happen. Like how long is he going to hide out in the house before he's found?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Obviously we see like Mariana taking a shower. She looks shocked. Callie's laying in the bed. She looks surprised.
The attic and
That,
the
yeah,
the
in the
goosebump
attic,
thing.
and it's I don't know. Like I mean,
Oh, he lost it.
Lucky for
Yeah.
us, whoever's tuning in right now, we're gonna have the actor that plays Nick on our episode next week, so you guys can look forward to having him in studio,
awesome.
and we're
exciting.
definitely going to ask him a million questions.
including whether or not he's Team Bradley. And
And
obviously
you know
all
he
the
has an
serious
opinion.
stuff.
yeah.
Nick's, what are you saying?
I'm really hoping that they use that. I mean, obviously, I'm thinking and hoping that they don't kill off his character, but I'm hoping that they use this opportunity to maybe do a bipolar thing and give us the opportunity to learn about that character post all of this. Like, I would
Yeah.
actually like that.
Yeah, I think that'd be really great.
Because you never see with shows when they do shootings and stuff like that, they always do kill off the the person who brought in the gun. And I would love to see what happens after if that character lives. Like, I think that would be a really great thing for them to do.
Yeah. Do you know if they changed anything with Orlando being here, like any storyline or shooting or anything?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, here's an easier question. Nick's dad mentioned doing the musical in the warehouse because I think there was like an extension of some sort. Will we be seeing more of that this season?
I mean, the whole set's burnt down, B.
Yeah.
They
He was
can
like-
do it in like
No, but they did it so flippantly in this episode. Callie was like, "Yeah, all the sets and everything. I'm really
did.
sorry." And he was like, "David, I mean, Brandon was like, yeah, gosh, it's okay. so bad. It's like, screw Romeo and
always
Juliet.
have the R&J memories.
I know.
R&J memes.
Yes.
Were you the
everything.
nurse or the mom?
I was the nurse.
The nurse. Okay.
Yes.
I remember when we hadn't heard your character sing before, so when like the nurse sang, I was like, yes.
I know.
Yeah, all
that
three of
was
us.
so funny. I was like, oh.
And Bradley came that episode, so it was really, it was good.
Oh,
Yeah,
awesome.
really good.
So much fun.
All right, Steph. Starting with you, what are your predictions / what are you looking most forward to this season?
Okay, my predictions are that I think Jesus is gonna calm Nick down, or something's gonna happen where he talks to him or tackles him, or figures it
Okay.
out when he's in the house and he scares Mariana. And then what I hope to see, I don't know. I wish I could say Bradley, but I don't think I'm ready for that either. I think I need them to have time apart.
Okay, any Papa Quinn? She's across from Robert Quinn. What's the actor's name? Kerr Russell?
Kerr Smith. Oh my God, if he comes back.
Callie's dad.
Oh, I saw him on something else, and I was like, that guy looks so familiar.
I thought she was gonna say on set. I'm like, okay,
Not
I'm ready
on
to see him.
set.
Oh, okay.
Not on set, but I know who you're talking about.
Okay.
Jillian, what do you think?
I'm excited to see Justina go down. I really love that actress. She is like the worst but the best. So I'm excited to see how that whole thing plays out.
I don't
Callie
know
and
if we're
Justina.
going to see. I saw on Twitter that Bradley retweeted the actress who plays her, and she said, you might not see Justina like on screen, but you'll see me behind the screen. She was, I think, directing an episode.
Oh, cool.
So I don't know if that means like on the next couple episodes or like ever.
Interesting. Maybe they'll put a pause on that.
Come on, Hannah.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I think that that's like going to be a big part of Callie because that's her final project. She's been like working on this Lost and Found thing, and she is like the face of this. And obviously, maybe they'll deal with internet bullying because that's also another huge thing that
we'll
that
definitely
happens
see
to everyone. Probably everyone here has been internet bullied before, and it's like
We're on-air personalities.
Yeah.
No way. Everyone's so nice to us.
you suck.
Yesterday, someone told me to put pigeon seeds in my hair because my head looked like a nest, and I was like, "Oh my God!" Well,
How dare!
I love nest.
it was like a little bit funny.
So if we're not going to see Justina,
Okay.
then I guess I'll be satisfied with seeing how Brandon and the Courtney situation plays out because I don't see her being around much longer.
I have to cut you off there. I won't hear the word Courtney anymore. Hannah, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't ever want to see the person that
Lord
spells their name
Voldemort.
wrong.
Or that should not
Voldemort.
Lord Voldemort.
I
Spells her
think
name
if you
without
met
you,
her,
that's wrong.
you would love
I
her.
her
believe
even
that.
more.
She's
Love
the
her.
cutest ever.
She's
But
the sweetest. Those arms, though.
She's got a rockin' body.
I was like,
for real.
we were standing up on the stage and they were doing like her coverage with Maia, and I was like, "Girl, those arms though." She's like, "No." Like, do you do push-ups? She was like, "No." I was like, "You don't even do push-ups." Just
Those
amazing.
yoga arms. She has yoga
Yoga
then.
arms.
Hashtag fit
So
mom.
sweet.
yeah,
Oh God.
dang it, she's totally
Hashtag
cool
break them
ones.
up.
Oh, okay,
Aw.
Jeff. Okay.
They don't even have a
It's
ship
done.
name. People hate them that much.
Truth.
Actually, I don't know if people hate her. I just hate her.
Courtney. Brandon.
Hannah, any predictions for the season?
I don't really have any predictions. I mean, aside from the stuff that we already talked about with Nick. I want to see what they do with Taylor and Jude. I'm excited for that.
Yes.
I'm excited to see when Callie has to bring up the topics with her and Brandon and like has to address them publicly, what that does to their relationship, and if they choose to do it as like a front, you know what I mean? Like do it together.
Ooh, do you think they'll go public with it?
I feel like they have to at this point.
Ouch.
I mean, Fosterman is a huge thing, and that's what's
Yikes.
blowing up on her.
I don't
guess
think they
she's-
have to go public.
I feel like they
She's
do.
kind of honesty's the best policy person now. You know,
Exactly.
she just wants to do the right thing.
Not
like
if
she's
it
got to.
threatens someone's adoption.
But she's
Also,
gonna,
I feel like isn't that private though? Wouldn't you consider that it doesn't necessarily have to be said to help
Yeah.
other people?
but doesn't she like publicly have to deal with the Justine thing now since she publicly?
Well, I'm hoping that there's just like a
Bashed her.
lawsuit with Justina. I hope that they just let us know in somewhere in the background
Yeah.
that something happened with her.
It's not the end.
But do we
son of a
still
biscuit
think
eater.
she'll get invited to the White House or not?
Oh, I forgot about that.
I'm still waiting for that scandal crossover. What if she meets and it's Fitz?
Oh my god, and Olivia Pope is there. I don't even watch the show.
That is my
really
prediction.
nice.
I just love this family, and historically, I've never gone to movies where there's a child in the lead role, be it like an Annie or like an August Rush, or that movie was the music one.
Yeah, it was so good.
Like,
Love
I
it.
heard it's amazing. I just don't think that kids are as good of actors because they don't have the
They don't
training.
know what they're doing.
And they
I
don't know
didn't know
what
what I
they're
was doing
And
when
it's
I
like
was
just
little.
line readings, and yet we're talking about how amazingly complex these characters are. I think that the kid actors on this show are so good.
Oh, they're awesome.
I don't have any complaints at all.
I had not talked to Hayden very much, and then I was like standing by him, and I was like, "Hey," and we're like kind of talking about something. And we got into this like discussion about like school.
Oh, he's our
the
fifth
most
host.
intelligent.
Yes.
He's our 5th host.
He's like
He's a
actually
genius.
40. You just
He's
for real. It's like deceiving.
Yeah.
This guy's a veteran on AfterBuzz.
Yeah.
When he was here,
So
he like
smart.
leads a conversation.
Oh, yeah. And like
like, we
brings
don't
up
talk.
topics that we like don't think
I
about.
think he wants my job.
Yeah.
He's coming for you.
We're not having him back this season.
He is. No. He'll be back. He'll be back. Episode 7, I think. We'll see.
We have to wrap it up. Anna Grace, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, we're going to continue the conversation on Twitter. Where can people find you?
The real AG Barlow on Twitter and Instagram.
The real A.G. Barlow.
I made it in 7th grade. I was copying Demi Lovato.
Oh my god. Guys,
Hey,
kids these days
I
have social
appreciate
media
that.
in 7th grade. This is crazy.
Yeah.
Steph, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Stephanie Giorgi, on Instagram at the Stephanie Giorgi, and I love Jesus.
Okay then.
Yes.
Declare it. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Jillian Leff and on Snapchat at Jilly Leff.
Y'all can find me on Instagram and Twitter at the Hotshot Dude.
And I tweet from Jeff Masters 1. We'll see you next week, guys. Goodbye.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.